Greetings and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Sliders Review. And I'm here today to talk to you about The Haunting Hour Walls. So, this is a pretty cool episode. It's very eerie and it's extremely creepy. I love the tone in which it sets up. It kind of has this muted type palette. It has these type of like middle class homes that are like pretty much like one dimensional looking. The color palettes are around like whites, grays, blues, blacks, stuff like that. So it has that eerie setting feeling, and plus the music really complements what's going on in this episode. So basically, this deals with a little boy named Jeffrey. He has just moved into like a new home, a new city, and he is not happy whatsoever because he misses his old friends and stuff. And of course, since you move into a new place, you don't have no new friends. And so, like, his parents are thrilled. They've always wanted a big house, and they say it's been their long life dream and everything. So, like, they put him up in the room, and it's kind of like a baby's room with all this like sheep like pattern wallpaper, and he really hates it. And so, like, they tell him just to adjust, get used to it. They tell him to go make some new friends, and then as they're looking out the window, they see like all these kids like outside and stuff. And so he goes over there, and the line of kids suddenly like scatters as soon as he comes up to him. But there's one boy who stays in the middle. I love the way they set that up. It's just like, because something strange is gonna happen. Plus, this is R.L. Stein, so something strange is gonna happen. So Jeffrey meets this boy named Chuck, and he tells him like, "Have you heard the thing in the walls yet?" And Jeffrey's just kind of like, "What are you talking about?" And he tells him there used to be an old man who used to live in that house, and he used to see some strange stuff happening. Like, the old man kept complaining that there was a thing like in the walls and stuff. And so Jeffrey's just kind of like weirded out by that. He goes home to tell his parents, and the parents are like, "That boy's just pulling your leg." So one night, Jeffrey does hear something like in the walls and stuff, but he's not sure what it is. When his parents start to see he's acting kind of weird, they just like making fun of him. He's all like, "Just check my room, check my room." So the dad goes in there, check on the bed, and the dad like pulls a prank on him. Jeffrey's not happy about that. So the dad says he's gonna give him a nightlight to sleep. As Jeffrey is asleep in the room, we see something strange. All we see are these bony, wrinkly legs that are kind of like greenish and scaly. And they have these dirty, nasty house slippers on that are fuzzy in the shape of an animal. And it walks in a weird, staggery, fast kind of way. And then it grabs the nightlight, and we can see part of like the head and the body, and it's all like too bright for me, and it runs off. So the next morning, Jeffrey notices that his dad and mom are putting up a huge flat screen TV, and Jeffrey's just kind of like, "How'd y'all get this thing?" They're all like, "Oh, it comes with the new job." And also with the new job is a brand new car and everything, the kind his dad always wanted. And so when he's ecstatic about getting pancakes in the morning, the mom tells him to go get the syrup in the cupboard. He goes looking in there, it's not there. She goes to look, and all of a sudden it's there. And he doesn't understand how he missed that. So then, one day Jeffrey is just like playing in his room, and there's something spying on him. So we can see the point of view from whatever it is, that thing that at night. And so he hears more stuff in the walls. And so he's investigating. The dad sees him acting weirdly, putting his ear up to the wall. And he pretty much just like teases his son. So then one time when he's in his room, something is like, "More syrup," and then like it grabs his arm because he has his head to the wall, and it grabs him. It's like, "More syrup. I want something. I want syrup. And if you don't give me syrup, I'll take your parents away." When he tells, it's like the creepiest thing. It grabs him with these bony hands and everything. And so like he's all like, "Don't you tell nobody or I'll take your parents away." So he is freaked out. So like he goes to the store and he buys like syrup and he gives it to the thing, and the thing is just chugging the syrup as fast as it can. And it's all like, more, I want more. And then so when Jeffrey goes back to the store, he comes back home. And then so the boy, Chuck, sees him with a bag full of syrup. And he's all like, why you got all that syrup in there for? He's all like, look, if I tell you something, you can't tell nobody, but there's something in the walls and it wants like sugar nonstop. And the boy's all like, I knew it. Because the boy tells him that the old man, he used to see the old man constantly come home with big bags of sugar. And then one day they found him laying dead in the sugar. And then so Jeffrey's all like, man, what am I gonna do? And then so Chuck's all like, well, we gotta change the taste of that syrup. And he gives him something. I think it's like paint thinner or something like that. And he pours it in the vials of the syrup. So now with the trap set, Jeffrey puts like the new thing of syrup in like the cupboard. And but then his dad is like, about to get some syrup for his ego. So Jeffrey tries to stop him, and the dad drops the thing of syrup. And so it shatters, and the dad's all like, why are you acting so weird? And blah, blah, blah. Then, next thing you know, at one point in time, the mom comes in because she made like a cake for everybody, and the cake has now been eaten. And she shows the remnants of like the eaten cake. And so she's all like, Jeffrey, why did you eat all the cake from everybody? And he's like, I didn't do it, I promise. But the mom is constantly blaming him. Then she gives the dad like a strange look. And Jeffrey's all like, y'all don't believe me and and I hate it here and blah, 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 and stuff like that. So then he goes back to like Chuck and he tells him that the whole paint thinner and the sugar on the syrup thing just didn't work, right? So Chuck's all like, all right, fine, we got to figure out what's going on. So he brings out 2 encyclopedia books on creatures and demons and stuff. I gotta say, I like that. See, it is set in the modern day with flat screen TVs. They could have easily went on the internet and looked. I'm so glad they didn't. And they just broke out like old fashioned books and they just started searching for it. That's such an old school horror vibe, It reminds me of like Buffy and stuff. And so they find out what the creature is. It's a Clement. It's this bony, scaly thing with a big head that constantly craves sugar and it has a bad attitude. So Jeffrey's kind of feeling, what did I do to get rid of this thing? And so Chuck has an idea. He's using bug bombs, the kind his dad, he said his dad has these things. It's lethal and everything. So they set up a plan where they're gonna confront the little like monster thing and kill it. So they have to first find out where it's at. And so Chuck tells him that he remembers that the old man told him something, the noises came from like the nursery. And so they go into like the nursery room and they looking around the closet, and then they find like a lever with a hidden compartment to it that leads into the closet. So Jeffrey goes in there because Chuck is too scared. And when it's so creepy when he goes in there, it's dark. There's cobwebs, there's dust everywhere. There's what's that stuff he put up in like walls and attics to make the house warmer? I forgot that stuff is called. But it's so dirty and nasty. And it's like it feels like you're walking through a cave. And so like Jeffrey, he sees so much of his stuff from his room in there because what the creature does is steals from people who lives in the house. And there's all kinds of like old stuff, old pictures, all kind of thing, like black and white pictures. So this thing's been in there for a long time. And he sees the creature. It's one of the most grotesque looking things ever. They did a great job on the costume. This is why more people need to go practical. This costume is amazing. It's wrinkly. It has a big head. It's green. It's scaly. It has a freaky face. It has these bony little fingers and stuff. And so he's chugging down the syrup. So Jeffrey's kind of like playing along. Like, hey man, we're maybe gonna be like friends, you know what I'm saying? And things like more syrup. And so then Jeff's like, all right, it's in my bag. He pulls out the bug bomb thing. sprays him dead in the face, and then he runs out. Now, this is the part that kind of messed up. He didn't have nothing over his nose or mouth, so he inhaled all that toxic fumes as he ran out, because he ran directly into it. I can kind of forgive them for that, because they had to hurry and make this show, but still, it should have killed the little boy and stuff. So he runs out, and the monster's like chasing after him, angry. And then he gets back to Chuck, but the monster grabs his legs, and Chuck is like pulling on the arms of Jeffrey as the monster Clement is pulling on the legs of Jeffrey. And so Chuck is freaked out because now he finally gets to see this thing up close and personal after hearing about it for years. And then the parents come in and they grab the Clement. Then they start cradling it. Chuck is so freaked out. He's like, well, I gotta go home. And then so Jeffrey's all like, that's the thing that tried to take y'all away and kill me. And they're all like, shut up, son. And Jeffrey's kind of like, what is going on? They're cradling the thing, making sure it's okay, trying to keep it out the sunlight because it doesn't like the sunlight. Then the mom tastes the syrup and she dips some on her finger and she lets the Clement lick her fingers off the syrup. It's so creepy. And so then the parents confess that they knew about this thing all along because a Clement is supposed to give you good luck. That's why they've been getting all the big house. They got the big screen TV, the new car. It brings you good luck. And they say the more people that know about it, the less luck you have. And so Jeffrey is pissed. He's all like, y'all made me believe I was losing my mind. And then so they're like, look, man, don't you want good stuff? Don't you want this big house and a big car and a TV? He's like, that's what you want, but what do I want? Boy, the twist that came that I did not see coming. The next scene, we see Chuck and we see Jeffrey laying in the big like king size bed of the parents, because they're in the parents' room now. They're watching a horror movie. They're eating popcorn. They're chugging soda. They're having a great time. Where are the parents, you might ask? They're in Jeffrey's room. He's made them switch rooms. They're now sleeping on a twin-sized bed, and they can barely fit on there with their adult-sized body. And as they're trying to sleep, tossing and turning, you hear the Clement banging, I want more syrup. And they're all like, look, if you don't feed that thing, it's going to keep doing that all night. So the dad had to go in there and get the thing more syrup. The greatest twist I ever saw coming and did not even see coming. This is such a creepy episode, and it's creepy and scary on a kids type level. Could you imagine this was an adult horror type thing? Boy, that would have been something. Now, wasn't that spooky? All right, well, I shall talk to y'all later. Bye.